Think to yourself, if someone was going to apologize to me, how would I want them to do it? Sometimes it's not that you don't apologize, it's how you do it.
Right.
When our kids are mean to each other, they hate it when we make them apologize. And sometimes I'll say, okay, tell them you're sorry. Sorry. You got to be careful how you make amends with people. First of all, you need to pick the right time. It needs to be the right time for them and not just the right time for you. I have seen people so many times try to make amends with people, and they would do it like in front of a group of people. That is not the right time.
No, it's not.
Or they would do it right after that they have hurt and wounded them, and those people just needed time to settle down. You have to do it with the right attitude. Ephesians 4:15 says, instead, as we lovingly speak the truth, we will grow up completely in our relationship to Christ, who is the head. Simply say that what you did was wrong. Don't try to excuse it. Don't, well, I'm sorry, but well, I know it was wrong, but you got to understand. That's a half apology because you're trying to excuse it. Just simply say that what you did is wrong. I always tell my kids, if you did it, you own it. Sometimes we just need to take ownership for what we've done. The more serious your offense, the less likely the relationship will be completely restored. And let me just say this. Sometimes all that God wants you to do is make amends and move on.
That's true.
Not everybody that's been in your life is meant to stay in your life. And you're going to have to let God show you the difference. Too many people think, well, if I forgive them, we've got to go right back to where we were at and have this whole relationship again. That's not true. Some people aren't good for you. Amen? Sometimes it's best to forgive and walk on and move on. Then you got to think, is it appropriate? Proverbs 12:18. Thoughtless words can wound as deeply as any sword, but wisely spoken words can heal.
Yes.
There are some situations that you do not want to revisit because you'll just be opening up a whole can of worms
That's true.
and re-hurting. And you think, well, what do I do? That's when you write that letter that you've never seen. My third and final point, you have to refocus your life. Refocus your life starting God's will in all your relationships today. I don't want you to leave here today and dwell on, boy, I really messed this relationship up and I really messed it and that friendship's gone or that romance is gone or that family member and I don't want you to focus on any of the mistakes that you've made in the past. You got to let that go because that will hold you prisoner. What I want you to do today is leave here clean and give God your dirty rags of unforgiveness and say, you know what? The past is the past. Your past does not determine your destiny. Starting today, you need to say, I'm going to begin to refocus. Starting today, all of my relationships are going to be according to the will of God. I'm going to learn from what I did. I'm going to learn from my mistakes. I'm going to learn from my hurts. And it's going to be better because it's going to be God's way. Amen? God is the greatest recycler. I put that on Facebook last night. He can take all of our emotional garbage and he can turn it for our good. And you might think, you haven't seen my emotional garbage. Let me tell you, you would believe some of the emotional garbage that I came to the Lord with. You wouldn't believe it.
Yes.
That's the great thing about God. I don't care what kind of mess you are in or how big a mess you think you are. If you let God heal you, he can take your dirty rags of unforgiveness and he can change your life. How many saw my Facebook post last night when I said, I can't remember exactly what I said. Maybe today's sermon could be called the sermon that nobody wants to hear, but everybody needs the most. And I truly believe that because we got too many hurting people. Maybe you have unforgiveness today. Maybe you have unforgiveness towards another person. Maybe you have unforgiveness towards yourself because you just can't get past some things you've done or some things that you've said. Whatever the case is, you don't have to leave here with the dirty rags of unforgiveness today. God wants to heal some people. You might say, well, there's just nothing spectacular about today. You know, it's a small group and it's kind of quiet. It doesn't have to be loud and rowdy for God to heal. And sometimes it takes us getting quiet
It does.
for God to do the work that He needs to do. I want to share something with you guys before we go into our altar service. On Monday, I began dropping by here either before work or after work when God started putting this message in my spirit. And He gave me specific directions. Every day, He gave me a different area of my life that He wanted to search my heart with. I want you to search your heart. Is there any unforgiveness in this area? At the same time, He brought back to my mind a song that I had heard quite some time back that I just loved. Every day, I've prayed here or I've prayed at home. And I mean to tell you, I have sang this song every day. I made a CD of it. I put it in my car. I sang it on the way to work. I sang it on the way home. This song got in my spirit. And when I was here praying, and all this junk started coming up that I thought was taken care of, God began to cleanse me. And if you guys don't mind, I want to share this song with you today. Don't listen to how I sound. I do need my mic turned up just a little bit. Don't listen to how I sound, because too many times we get caught up in thinking people are up here to entertain us. This isn't about entertainment. This is about a message. And I want you to hear the words of this song, and I want you to let it minister to you the way it ministered to me. I see shattered, you see whole. I see broken, you see beautiful. And you're helping me to believe. You're restoring me piece by piece. There's nothing too dirty that you can make worthy. You wash me in mercy. I am clean. Yeah, there's nothing too dirty that you can make worthy. instructions for today. That's why you see a lot of different things set up here very differently. We are going to take our time at this altar service and our communion time. We have got to get out of rushing God.
That's right.
I don't care what you have to do today. I've got things I want to do as well. I'm hungry. I want to eat. But you know, no matter what we have planned for when we leave here today, there is nothing more important than right here and right now and what God wants to do inside your heart. The Lord impressed upon me to do something a little bit different. I've got some rags. And these rags represent our hurts and our wounds, our unforgiveness, our confusion, our pain, and our fear. And I'm going to get real specific with you guys today, because you're going to search your heart really good today. Because there's not a person in here who needs to leave here feeling like you're carrying out dirty rags of unforgiveness. God wants to make you clean. You know what it feels like to take a shower and you just feel so much better? Well, God wants to give you a spiritual cleansing today. Everybody here, don't be embarrassed. This is a safe place, because the Lord's already showed me some of your faces today. So if you don't volunteer on your own, I'm going to bring you one of these myself. And then it's going to be up to you what you do with it. And I'm not doing that to be mean. I'm doing that because I love you. I don't want to see you hurt anymore. I don't want to see you carry around unforgiveness and pain and confusion and fear. If you're here today and you feel like there's still something from your childhood, a hurt, a wound that you carried as a child that still bothers you to this day, or something you did as a child that maybe bothered someone else. Maybe you had a parent who abandoned you. Maybe you were abused. Maybe you were criticized a lot by someone who destroyed your self-esteem. And you might say, well, there's a lot of adults in here. Let me tell you, some wounds go a long way and stay with us. Maybe somebody told you you would never amount to anything. If you're here and you have a hurt that you want complete healing from your childhood, I want you to raise your hand. I want you to take one of these.